In a sport such as baseball, if you hit a Game 7 World Series home run game winner and it gets robbed at the wall, you're forgotten. If you compare that analogy to skateboarding, if you at least tried and almost hit that home run, you're a hero. So what is the appeal?
What is the appeal of tricks that weren't landed? You know, skateboarding is about pushing your boundaries and limits, and there's nothing to be ashamed of when you don't get a trick. That is the epitome of skateboarding, is pushing boundaries, and if you're not failing, you're not trying. So the appeal of it is just, you're seeing guys really try to push themselves to their absolute capacity, you know, and they're chasing greatness. And when you're chasing greatness, you got to take the good with the bad.
I almost want to say the most famous tricks are the ones that didn't happen, like Jamie Thomas leap of faith, my tray flip.
Did more for those guys than if they actually landed those tricks.
The fact that you couldn't do it is like almost cooler, because it's like, well, that person pushed themselves so far that they tried something that wasn't even possible for them. So I think that's like the appeal behind it.
Yeah, you're just right there. You're on the precipice. You're right on the edge of what is like humanly possible, and progression in skating and just pushing it as far as you can. Like even you don't know if it's possible.
Things that don't get landed could be like so monumental, almost more monumental than landing something, because everyone's like, damn, he tried it, you know, and that gets known, and then it's like, why didn't he land it?
I would probably say that if they would have gotten landed, they almost would have gotten like forgotten about. Someone watches like Superman fail. That's like watching Jamie Thomas not be able to land the leap of faith. Maybe that scared some people away. Maybe that was like, oh, whoa, if Superman can't do that, we shouldn't even get nowhere close to it.
So what is the appeal for tricks that have not been landed? Kind of expands the boundaries, I guess, and gives other people that are into the same sort of thing, kind of opens their mind of what's possible and what's not.
Everyone can get behind the idea of someone just imagining and trying. And I think that's like the coolest part about skateboarding, is that you can like build a vision of something in your brain and then go out and like give it your best shot. And whether you do it or not, doesn't really matter. It's like the building blocks and like putting it together and being like, all right, I can do this, I can create this thing, and then giving it your best.
He didn't land it, but Jamie Thomas leap of faith's like pretty well known.
I think the leap of faith, even though I didn't make it, was one of them. It's probably the most famous trick that was never landed. I think that's Jinkum's quote, but I think it probably is the most famous trick never landed.
It just looked ridiculous. Looked like some guy that was just committing suicide, but just happened to have a skateboard under his feet.
Yeah, I mean, if the leap of faith was still around, I wonder like what people would actually try to take to it, like if it would be step two. Or if Jamie Thomas was really the only one that had the balls to do it, but some things are kind of better left unknown and unlanded.
Everybody knows the leap of faith. And I think it was just showing the idea of people pushing themselves to that point of like almost the impossible. Do I think the leap of faith is possible? For sure. At that time, do I think anyone was taking impact like Jamie Thomas? No, and I think he was like at the brink of what impact looked like for skateboarding.
Leap of faith is iconic. Jamie was setting the barrier for the gnarliest trick at that time range.
It's the leap of, it has its own name, the leap of faith.
If Jamie Thomas would have landed the leap of faith, do you think it would still be as iconic?
Yeah, they'd still be iconic for sure. That leap of faith ollie would have been fucking hectic, dude. The fact that it was a slam was rad, but it would have been just as famous as a make. Throw of It All was the first skate video that I saw that had a whole bunch of like not makes in the middle of the part, and it was just as sick. You felt seen. It represented the blue collar guy that was like, you knew that part of skateboarding, but it was never represented in a part as though that was sick.
I think the tricks that people came close to, some of them are just as good as if they would have landed it, because like leap of faith, I think the fact that he tried that is crazy. So you're just like, you know, like, holy shit, you actually tried that. It's like almost like these guys like break open the doors.
I don't know, I always liked Kirchart's kickflip that hits his feet, and he's got so much hang time that it's just floating, wobbling around, and he lands on it with his feet like almost together because he's just trying to stay with the board.
Or like Heath Kirchart trying to lip slide like that crazy rail at night, and it's like a bazillion stairs, and he's just eating shit over and over. I think a lot of times just the fact that they got that close is just like, that counts. Like, please don't try it again because we love you and we actually would like to see you land something again someday. Like, we're glad you tried that, but like, let's move on.
Like Ali Boulala's ollie down the 25. That was just so mind-blowing. Just the attempt of it being so gnarly, just as good, if not gnarlier than a make, because it just keeps you like wondering.
Oh, that's it. It's over with.
Ali Boulala ollieing down the Lyon 25 stair. It was fucking ridiculous. I didn't know that people could take that kind of impact. It's like jumping off a mountain. He gets to the bottom and it just explodes.
It was comical watching him roll up to it in that clip. How little he looks compared to those stairs, and you're just like, what on earth is happening? And yet he just hucks his life off this thing. He should have died. He should have broken every bone in his body.
Nyjah's attempt on El Toro.
The backside flip on El Toro, attempted by 2 people, and there was just like controversy around it a little bit, and that allowed it to get more fame, I feel like.
I mean, I always wanted to come back and try it again, but it's such a mission, man. You feel like you're taking just years off your skateboarding career and off your body just trying one thing.
Still hasn't been landed. Good luck to anyone out there that wants to do it, because El Toro's looking like a bit of a nightmare right now.
You gotta put it all on the line, ride or die, to achieve those great heights.